how do we, who don't consider ourselves, who aren't artists in the sense of producing art that's tangible, poetry or music or writing or painting, how can I apply that to my own life?
Well, I think I believe that everybody has a calling of some kind.
Oh, God.
However odd or weird or humble. And the way that there are certain tricks you can use to find it. Most people, I think,
You are for sure right about that.
If we stopped and could talk to every person that is watching us right now and turned to them and said, what is it that's your calling? People would know. They'd know it. It'd be a secret in their heart. I know I should do this. You know, and there are tricks that you can find out. That one thing is to say, what are you more afraid of than anything in the world? Or what would you do if you knew you were going to die in 3 months? What would be the last thing that you would do? What would you do? It's the old thing that you've heard before, you know, if fear were not a factor,
if
money were not a factor. So if there is a calling, that thing that you're afraid of, whatever it is, then
what if you're watching right now
and you turn pro and do it?
What if you're watching right now, and I do a lot of speaking around the country, and I just did 7 speaking engagements, 7 cities in Canada this past winter, and spoke specifically to that. Started every one of my gatherings saying everybody has a calling, and the real question is that your real job in life is to figure that out. That's the job, is to figure out why are you here and get about the business of doing that.
And what sort of response did you get to that?
Well, a lot of people were, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you said everybody, if we were to ask them right now what is the calling, they would know. I run into people who don't know.
I mean, I was sort of fearful that that's what the answer would be. That,
I run into a lot of people who don't know.
But that's unfortunate. That's not reality.
They think that they don't know because they think it has to be some big thing. That's what I'm saying. So they're not keyed in. So
let me bring up another subject. Okay. Here. When we were talking about resistance before as a form of self-sabotage, right?
Yes.
That it's a voice in our own head.
Yes.
But in the real world, we also get sabotaged by other people.
Yes.
And this is a kind of it's a really mysterious and dark phenomenon, if you ask me.
Yeah.
This question is kind of, where do we get the idea that we're not worthy? When we're little, people tell us we're not worthy.
Yes.
And when we're little and we start to show signs of going towards the light,
that's right.
People that are close to us are threatened by that because it's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. And because they want to have us, you know, they want to keep us. So they
tell you
cloud up and rain all over you.
Or say, how are you going to be a writer? You're not going to make a living being a writer.
Exactly,
how are you going to do that? Yes.
Right.
And so you squash that part of yourself in order to please or to appease.
You internalize that voice and then it comes back and haunts you. But even if that voice wasn't there, resistance itself would be giving you that voice. But there are sabotage by others is also a very real thing.
Yeah. But most of us sabotage ourselves.
Yeah, we can do enough of a job of that without any help.
And why is it that you get right to the point where it's almost going to be, I've seen people do it over and over and over. I've done it myself several times, where you just literally sabotage yourself. You're almost there. You're almost there. And then you do something to blow it.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's called the war of art. Because you have to, you have to be aware of it and keep getting up earlier and earlier and get stronger and stronger to fight it, particularly the closer to the end you come to realizing your dream or manifesting your dream.